CanYaman. His name alone commands attention, not only in Turkey, where his career first blossomed, but across the world, where his presence has become impossible to ignore. For years, he has dominated screens, magazines, and headlines. Every move he makes, every role he plays, every word he utters is analyzed by millions. But beyond his incredible acting skills and larger-than-life charisma, Can has always carried with him an aura of mystery. Fans wondered about his private life, his emotions, and his relationships. And now, with one explosive confession, he has shattered the silence. The moment he admitted, "I'm very happy with my new girlfriend," the world reacted with shock, joy, heartbreak, and endless speculation. Because when a man like CanYaman speaks about love, the story is never simple, it is always a bombshell. To truly understand the weight of this revelation, we must look back at Can's journey. He is not just an actor, he is a phenomenon. Rising to fame with his unforgettable roles in Turkish dramas, he quickly captivated audiences with his striking looks, sharp intelligence, and undeniable chemistry with his co-stars. It wasn't long before his fame spilled beyond Turkey's borders. Italy embraced him as one of their own. Spain couldn't get enough. Latin America, the Middle East, and even fans in the United States began to follow him obsessively. He wasn't just a star, he was an international sensation. But with great fame comes relentless scrutiny, and Can's personal life has always been the subject of speculation. Over the years, he was linked to several co-stars, most famously to Demet Özdemir. Their on-screen chemistry in Erkenci Kuş, Daydreamer, was so electric, so undeniable, that fans were convinced they were living a real romance behind the cameras. For years, the whispers never stopped. Were they together? Did they break up? Was their love real, or just a fantasy created for television? Can never gave a clear answer. He dodged questions, smiled mysteriously, and let the rumors swirl. This silence only fueled the obsession. For many fans, Demet was the great love of his life, and no one else could take her place. But life is never that simple. Careers evolve, people change, and the weight of public expectations can crush even the most passionate bonds. As Can moved to Italy, as he became involved in larger international projects like Sandokan, the distance grew. The man who once seemed tied to a single name and a single story was now charting his own path. Yet, even then, he avoided speaking openly about his heart. He became known for his discipline, his focus, his dedication to work. Paparazzi occasionally spotted him with different women, but he never confirmed anything. For his fans, he was both everywhere and nowhere, visible on every screen, but invisible in his most intimate truths. That is why his recent confession exploded like a bomb. In a candid interview, when asked about his private life, Can finally lowered his guard. His voice was calm, but his words carried the power of thunder. "I'm very happy with my new girlfriend." For a man who has built a reputation on discretion, this was no small statement. It wasn't just a passing comment, it was a declaration. He was in love, and he was ready to share it with the world. The impact was immediate. Within hours, the news was trending. Hashtags filled social media, hashtag CanYaman love bombshell, hashtag new girlfriend, hashtag finally happy. Fans across continents reacted with a mix of emotions. Some celebrated his happiness, flooding the internet with messages of support. Others expressed heartbreak, mourning the fantasy they had held on to for so long. And of course, the most common reaction of all, curiosity. Who is she? The mystery of his new girlfriend quickly became the obsession of fans and media alike. Tabloids speculated endlessly. Was she a fellow actress, hidden in plain sight? Was she from Italy, the country where Can has built a second home and where his career has flourished? Or was she a completely unexpected figure, someone far removed from the world of show business, who managed to capture his heart in ways no one else could? Every clue was analyzed, every photo dissected. Fans compared timelines, looked for hints in his social media posts, and built theories that spread like wildfire. But beyond the mystery of her identity, Can's words carried something even more powerful: joy. When he said he was happy, he meant it. His eyes softened, his tone lightened, and for once, the man who always seemed burdened by expectations looked free. This was not the guarded, serious CanYaman who dodged questions in past interviews. This was a man in love, unafraid to show it. And that vulnerability made him more magnetic than ever. Yet, as with all love stories involving global icons, the confession came with consequences. Some fans felt betrayed. For those who had held on to the dream of Can and Demet rekindling their romance, this was a crushing blow. They flooded social media with nostalgic clips, old interviews, and heartbroken comments. "We still believe in Can and Demet," they wrote. "This can't be the end." Others, however, embraced the new reality. They applauded him for moving forward, for finding happiness, for daring to reveal something so personal in a world that constantly demands he keep secrets. The media, of course, had a field day. Headlines screamed, "CanYaman breaks silence on love life, who is the woman making him happy?" and "Love bombshell, Can finally confesses." Paparazzi intensified their pursuit, determined to capture a photo of the mystery girlfriend. Some outlets claimed they had already spotted her. Grainy images appeared, showing a woman walking alongside Can in Rome. Was she the one? No one could say for sure. But the frenzy only grew. Behind all this chaos, one truth emerged. CanYaman had reached a point in his life where he no longer wanted to hide. For years, he had given everything to his career, sacrificing his personal freedom for the sake of success. Now, he seemed ready to claim his happiness, regardless of the noise. His words were not just a confession, they were a statement of independence. "I'm happy," he said, and that was all that mattered. What makes this moment even more fascinating is how it redefines Can's public image. Until now, he was seen primarily as the unattainable star, the man every woman wanted but no one could truly have. By admitting to being in a committed relationship, he shattered that image and replaced it with something more human, more relatable. He was no longer just a fantasy, he was a man in love. And in a way, this made him even more compelling. Because real love stories are always more powerful than fantasies. But what about the future? How will this confession affect his career, his projects, his global brand? Some argue it will only make him more popular. Fans crave authenticity, and by opening up, Can has given them a piece of his real self. Others worry that the media storm could distract from his work. With Sandokan and other international projects on the horizon, will the focus shift from his acting to his love life? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear, CanYaman has never been one to play it safe. He takes risks, and this was one of the biggest risks of all. And what of his girlfriend? Whoever she is, she now faces the impossible task of living in the shadow of a global superstar. Every move she makes will be scrutinized. Every photo, every word, every detail will be dissected. Yet, if she has won Can's heart, she must have something extraordinary. Something that goes beyond beauty, beyond fame, beyond the superficial. Because CanYaman is a man who could have anyone, but he chose her. That choice speaks volumes. For the fans, the story is far from over. This is only the beginning of a new chapter in the saga of CanYaman. Will he reveal her identity? Will they appear together publicly, hand in hand, silencing the rumors once and for all? Or will he continue to protect her, keeping their love private while the world speculates endlessly? The uncertainty is what keeps the obsession alive. Because in the end, CanYaman is not just living his life, he is living it on a stage, with millions of eyes watching, analyzing, dreaming. His love bombshell reminds us of a simple truth: even the biggest stars crave the same things we all do: connection, intimacy, joy. Behind the glamorous facade, behind the screaming fans and flashing cameras, Can is just a man who wants to love and be loved. And in admitting that he has found happiness, he has given us a glimpse of his truest self. Perhaps that is why this moment feels so monumental. Because it is not just about CanYaman the actor, the celebrity, the icon. It is about CanYaman the man. And for the first time in a long time, that man is smiling, not for the cameras, not for the headlines, but for love.